My question that you've singled out, the name of President Tayali and also the name of Tabo Kawana. These are individuals that, like you rightly put it, they did defend the presence of the former Secretary to Cabinet, Dr. Simon Miti. And I do remember very well at some point, Tabo Kawana did justify that Dr. Miti actually was well-pressed in that position. All right, but anyway, besides that, it's water under the bridge. My question is...
Look, it's not water under the bridge.
Yeah. Let me just finish my question, then you answer. We can compile everything together. My question is, you've just raised another allegation here that there were people that you believe that they were paid to defend certain names or certain faces. Do you think this could be one of the names that were paid to defend Dr. Simon Miti among other government officials?
I can equally afford, for the record, I can afford to hire Tabo and Chulufyatali to defend me out there. That I can do. That I can do. You think I don't have the capacity to hire those two? Those are people you hire because they've got personal needs. They've got bills to pay. You think them having press briefings all over was for free? Only that maybe one could be paid slightly above the other. Those are people we can all hire. It's not a secret. Those are people you hire if you don't want to be in front of cameras. And I've got the capacity, I can. I'll not shy away from saying it. Those I can afford to hire.
And in this case, you feel that these individuals were paid to defend some...
Those are machines for hire. We can't even pay particular attention to them. Those you hire. Trust me, if I wanted to hire, I would hire, but not that caliber. No, I wouldn't go for them. Those you hire. It's a fact. Those are people you hire.
You've been challenged as well. I remember Tawakawana did raise something very pertinent, accusing you that you've never stood in Parliament, raising maybe a concern on behalf of your constituents. You know, instead you just want to be in the media and attacking government officials. That's according to Mr. Kawana's words. And lecturing you that you should begin to lobby on behalf of your people in LUMEZI constituents.
He does not understand, first of all, the rules of the House. Look, that's how shallow he is. He thinks you can just wake up and speak in the House. There are rules. And if the presiding officer does not give you a platform to speak, you cannot force yourself to speak. It's that simple. But he's never been a member of Parliament, so I sympathize with his wrong way of thinking. It's not that I've got the liberties to speak when I feel like speaking in the House. There are so many issues that I would want to bring to the attention of the House, but does time permit me to be given the chance is another issue. There are the rules and procedures that we follow. So he's speaking from an ignorant point of view. That's a fact. It's a fact. Maybe that's why we've got the media that we can use to send a certain message. So will I be right to say he's being hired just to feed his family? Or he's being hired to pay his bills somewhere? Let's be factual. He's not well informed. And I understand.
You have vowed to be that member of Parliament for LUMEZI who is going to be a radical at all time, or without defending any wrongs that will be committed in this country, either by the ruling party leaders, those in the opposition, or any other citizen.
Not that I'm going to be radical.
Yeah.
I'm even trying to be very diplomatic with the ruling party because they are new. There is a lot of trial and error kind of leadership that is at play right now. So I don't want to be a character that will be criticizing everything that they do, because I understand to say, look, it's possible they're going to make a lot of mistakes and eventually correct them. But should they make it a habit to do wrong things, I'll not spare them. I'll go for them. All we want is them to succeed. When they succeed, Zambia succeeds. That's all. They maintain corrupt elements that we know. We go for them. They do away with corrupt elements like we are now observing. We support them. It's that simple. A noble cause, I'll support. Anything that is noble, I shall not support.
All right.
Yeah.
Just to stand by your words over the allegations again you raised against EIZ. You know, these are government institutions, and also the immigration department as well. Something to do with the work permits for the people of foreign origin.
In fact,
I saw there were statements that were issued these institutions.
In fact, it's very interesting. I'll start with the issue of immigration. The immigration today have decided to revoke certain permits of Chinese people that I work with because of the allegations that I made that day. And those passports with their permits will be revoked tomorrow morning, pending an appeal to the Minister of Home Affairs. So you cannot blackmail me to say because your boss said we are corrupt, we are revoking your permits. Like it or not, we shall challenge that decision at the High Court, and the officers that are revoking the permit will know them by tomorrow 8 o'clock. It's not a secret. So the officers at immigration thought that they'll be blackmailing me. I'm not a kind of a character you can blackmail. I've developed a thick skin over the years. You revoke a permit and then what? They issued the permits. So why are they revoking them? Purely because I said they're corrupt. They want to revoke 17,000 work permits. There is an appeal at the minister's office, but they're going ahead to revoke it. So how many more are they going to revoke? They're doing it tomorrow. If they've not done it, but they know. The last I checked at the office, I was told that tomorrow they've given a notice that we must revoke. Your boss is calling us corrupt.
That's the only reason why.
The only reason is because I spoke about it. So it's possible that we should be giving instructions to lawyers tomorrow to go to the High Court and put up a stay of execution of that decision. Because you cannot say, because I spoke of the evils of Kent building, then we should be injured in that fashion. That we shall not accept. And we'll go for those officers individually. We will not sue the government. We will sue them in their individual capacities, so that they know that we still have decent men in this country that are going to fight the corrupt to the best of our abilities.
Honorable, there is a section of people out there that have perceived you to be a person who's malicious. And some people have come out that you need to be very careful because the path you are treading on, you might land yourself in trouble.
Look,
how ready are you for these issues?
If I am malicious, take me to court. Take me to court. Number two, all those saying you might land yourself in trouble, those are threatening life. I've received phone calls. I know their plans. They're calling themselves wounded. They're calling themselves super rich. But you see, our final destination, all of us, is the graveyard. if I am malicious, take me to court. Don't come out and issue statements to the press. Sue me, you know my residence, and then we argue from court. Why should I be malicious? Of what benefit? Of what benefit?
Right.
EIZ said Honorable Kapala was not found guilty of professional misconduct. But the first respondent was. Okay? The first respondent is a company. The managing director of that company is the Minister of Energy, Honorable Kapala. So how, even the rules of natural justice, how do you separate the two? Because for you to register a company at Pakra, there are human beings involved. Even if we say we can separate the two, a company on its own cannot pay a fine to EIZ of 60,000 kwacha.
Right.
Who paid? Was it the name of the company or individuals went to pay? It's a sham that we still have individuals in these institutions that do not want to speak the ugly truth that will make our country prosper. What is wrong is wrong. EIZ, in my own opinion and conclusion, issued that statement to please the minister so that maybe one of their members could be considered for a job as MD at ZESCO. That I'm certain.
Right. We'll have to continue, Honorable, and from here, I want us to get into the issue of investigations, that have taken place in this country, among other things. But for now, let's just pay the bills. We'll be back on the other side. Let's break.
Send cash and get cash right now from overseas. With international money transfer, it's just a breeze. Receive cash from across Africa at cool rates, and receive cash from other networks across states. You can cross borders at any time with your local Airtel line. So many deals with Airtel Money. It's your time. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Send and receive money from most countries in Africa with international money transfer. With our global money partners, transact conveniently across borders.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select Muvi TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the Muvi TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
Presenting Mr. Money! Mr. Money, he knows it all. I'm here to tell you what Airtel Money is all about. Move cash from the bank to any Airtel Money account. Are you tired of long bank queues? Get Airtel Money, that's what you use. Mr. Money, he knows it all, money, he knows it all. Save and earn interest in your Airtel Money account. Take loans for emergencies and get your right amount. That's right, Mr. Money, he knows it all, money, he knows it all. Do it all with Airtel Money. Transfer money from your bank account to Airtel Money. Save money, earn interest, and loads more. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
All right, thank you so much. My guest on the program is Munir Zulu, coming from LUMEZI constituency. He's here to add his voice regarding the news and current affairs in our country, and also a few changes that have been made so far in as far as our government or governance is concerned by President Hakainde Hichilema. And one of the issue is that of the dismissal of Dr. Simon Miti, among other issues. Now we'll get into one of the critical issues, the issue to do with the investigation in this country, or the fight against corruption, something that has been very critical into your mind. Let's get into his thought and find out what he has to contribute. Honorable, let's now get into the fight against corruption has been, one component in this country, or a song or a chorus we've been singing for quite some time now. But besides, the much efforts we are making as a nation, we are not actually getting the profits or the dividends that we want. Where have we gone wrong in terms of the fight against corruption? Let's begin from that general aspect, the fight against corruption.
You see, I have been very consistent that the ACC in its current form is a toothless bulldog. I should be writing the ACC tomorrow, the other day, withdrawing my complaint that I'd registered sometime last year, because I see no need for me to wait for the ACC to investigate on matters that for more than a year they failed to get back to me as a complainant. They couldn't call me. Instead, they had put me in harm's way. So I should be writing them tomorrow, the other day, to say whatever complaints I'd laid before, I'm withdrawing. I'll go back to the ACC to complain when certain reforms take place. I've got no faith in the ACC. I've got more faith with Zambia Police, more faith with DEC. ACC is a spoiled child, and we don't need it as a country.
Are you in a position to share with the people of Zambia what kind of complaint you went to lodge to the Anti-Corruption Commission, or is something that you would want to conceal?
I'll be more comfortable to discuss it when I submit my withdrawal later, because I've got all the correspondence. Who was involved, which minister. I mean, it's not fun, it's not a secret. I remember having written a letter to the Minister of Local Government then, Honorable Charles Banda. I told him to say, you are misbehaving. There were a lot of...
Who was misbehaving at that point?
The then Local Government Minister, Charles Banda.
All right. What was the misbehavior?
He made decisions against council minutes. Purely, it was explicit that he's been bribed somewhere. Why would the minutes show this decision and you make an opposite decision? There were a lot of wrongs that he did, and as a businessman I had to make a decision to protect the company. So he's one of those that I had taken to ACC. I remember having taken PS Mines then, Barnaby Mlenga. I remember having reported DC Chongwe and a few others. So no decision was made. Now Barnaby is not PS, Charles Banda is not minister. That DC Chongwe remains on forced leave, I believe. So ACC is still not giving me any feedback. So why should my complaint be maintained in their record? I would rather withdraw, which I would do with a lot of comfort.
And so far at the moment, it appears that, ACC, they are in not only the Anti-Corruption Commission, but the Drug Enforcement Commission, among other, investigative wings. They seem to be in a high gear, investigating people. We have seen them, summoning people to appear before, their offices, as well as highlighting the country some of the matters that are under investigations.
You see, I've had challenges as to why they're too quick to inform the nation of what they're trying to achieve, because the publicity that the investigative wings are giving out to the country is causing a lot of alarm. For me, I think it's important that the investigative wings should investigate in silence and just show us the results. And results in this instance are convictions, not acquittals, not knowledge. So I'll urge our investigative wings to try as much as possible. Of course, there is too much pressure. There has been change of government, but I see no need why they should always rush to the press. Let them investigate so that they don't expose innocent people, they don't injure innocent people. I know there are a lot more people being investigated, and they have not released any information to the public, but that's how it should be. The more they rush to the press, like the case we had, the ACC saying some former councillor had bought a bank, and then Bank of Zambia said there's no such a transaction. It exposes the incompetence in our investigative wings. So I think let them try to manage the pressure that comes from the public. It's not every information that should go to the public. I've got so much here, I know so much. But whatever I have said could be maybe 1% of what I know. For obvious reasons, I'm holding to a lot of information. Time will come when I'll be needed somewhere, and then I'll tell them this is the information that you needed. I'll give it to them pro bono. I'll not charge them a fee. I'm a patriot. Anything beneficial to this country, I'll do it for free.
Let me take you to the fight against political violence. I bring this to attention, Honorable Munir Zulu. I'm sure you've lived long in this country. Each time we've got elections, we do face these pockets of political violence. People die. People are being maimed. You know, and one of the things that President Hakainde Hichilema campaigned about or against was the political violence. Today, the president is in office, and one thing that we need to appreciate, all of us as a country, we in the media, as well as you, the politicians, and the people of Zambia, is that Bali has demonstrated that there will be no any form of violence, and there will be no any form of revenge. But suffice to mention that so far we have seen some disturbing reports. One of the reports is the incident that happened in Choma. You know, we also saw some other disturbing reports coming from Solowezi.
Kasempa.
Kasempa, rather. Thank you so much.
I condemn violence in its strongest possible terms.
Yeah.
You see, the UPND have the instruments of power today. You find their bloggers boasting of saying 2.8 million voters voted. Zambia has a population of slightly above 18 to 19 million citizens. Violence begets violence. When those 16 million Zambians raise to the occasion that did not vote and support this violence, this country will be ungovernable. Let the UPND take charge of its cadres. We cannot be a country that is going to be clapping for the violent. One day, the citizens that are being suffocated, that are being oppressed, are going to raise to the occasion, like we have seen before in Egypt, when you people said there is what you call Tahrir Square in Egypt. Tahrir Square means a freedom square. One citizen that was oppressed just decided to undress, and we saw what happened to Hosni Mubarak. Zambia should not take that route. You've won the election. What's there to beat your fellow citizens over? I tell my colleagues at Parliament, I defeated the PF. What's there for me to start beating PF members? For what? I'm even feeling sorry for them. There should be magnanimity in celebrations. You are injuring citizens bit by bit. Don't be too comfortable to say the 2.8 million. Zambia has a population of more than 2.8. I condemn violence. I've seen certain clips that happened at the High Court where police officers were manhandled as they were trying to protect some witness. And then the video in Kasempa will vindicate some people one day. The violence in Kasempa was not political violence. It was tribal, saying Easterners should be kicked out, Northerners should be kicked out. That was not political violence. They shouldn't think that we cannot respond when need be. We must respect the principles that this country is laid on of one Zambia, one nation. Everywhere in this country, we are one Zambia, one nation. But should it be that in certain regions, Northerners and Easterners will continue to be harassed, well, I'll say it's a matter of time. A volcano shall erupt, and I've got no apologies to say. No. I'm not a character that is here to impress people. I'll tell them that which they don't want to hear. And I'm happy that the Minister of Local Government has written the Kasempa Municipal Council. Yeah. That's how it should be. He has censored them in a very strong letter. I've read it. So should that letter from Honorable Nkombo be ignored, we'll take note of it.
And what is the problem in this case? Because I think we have seen, leadership at that level, where the president has been, on firm ground, denouncing or advising all the political party members across the board not to engage themselves in any form of political violence. We saw Honorable Gary Nkombo as well, demonstrating at his level as well, setting his force to say he's not going to entertain any form of confusion. Who is the problem here really, Honorable?
Honorable Nkombo has been a victim of violence before. Yeah. So when it comes from him, I'm made to believe that he knows how bad or he detests violence. He's one of the few members of parliament that has really been a victim. So if people do not want to listen, we'll expect them to apply the law. The law should take its course, because you cannot tell people in writing, verbally, and they still don't want to listen. Then we'll say, can we apply the law? Let the law be applied. The law should be applied. But the issue of each and every cadre waking up, doing that which they feel like they can do to citizens, the citizens that innocently don't even participate in politics. They go about their businesses, they become victims of situations. You want to injure that citizen, apply the law. Let the law be applied fairly.
What could be your message, Honorable Munir Zulu, with regards to the plight of young people? I think I bring this to your attention because you're among the few young people that decided to join politics in a very radical manner, and you went to stand alone despite that you were left out in LUMEZI constituents, but you stood and still carried the day. And a lot of young people today, they are more than anxious to get these empowerments, to be given jobs by the new government, because the 2.8 million decided to endorse Bali as the Republican president. But beside the 2.8 million, again, the 1.8 million as well, they are part and parcel that wants to benefit from Bali's administration, including those people that never voted. How best can we, eradicate the issue of job scarcity in this country?
You see, Bali is not only Bali for the 2.8.
Sure.
He is our Bali.
Yeah.
It's a matter of fact. He's Bali for everyone. He's not just Bali for 2.8. In my younger days, we'll say Bali will fix it. Even at home, I remember when I was in grade 9, 10, that's when we used that term, Bali, 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 and would call Mom Queen. So Bali is everyone's Bali.
Yeah.
And just like he's our Bali, all of us, we must all try to help him create solutions. It's also our job to go to Bali and say, Bali, here we can do A, B, C, D. It's not always that Bali will see or Bali will fix. We need to help Bali fix. That's our role. It's a win-win situation. If we see Bali is not succeeding somewhere, we should all say, Bali, this is the way, not that way. That's how it should work. But for the young people, I think it's time they needed to learn one thing. No one should make decisions on their behalf. Let them learn to make decisions. Most of my fellow young people fail to make decisions. It's also a decision, by the way. But for how long will you not make a decision? I made a decision against all odds, and I stood firm, believing in my decision. And there it is. Why do they fail to make decisions? What's their fear? If they fear being bruised, let them read the stories of Stephen Biko, Tiro, Thomas Sankara, Simon Mwansakapwepwe, Christine Mulundika. There are so many stories that we can make reference to that are well documented. Why do you want to be a coward, failing to make a decision? There are so many stories that we can make reference to.
Right. Finally, we have to go, Honorable. We delayed by about 10 minutes, but I just want to get your concluding remarks with regards to the President, radio interview yesterday, because I think Bali has been very, courageous always, very open, that he's got nothing to hide, and therefore is going to engage the media, is going to engage the citizens, and get those critical questions from them. And that's what he just did yesterday on Radio Phoenix. And how do you assess him in terms of the way he addressed these national matters? We'll end from there.
First of all, I commend Bali for coming out openly like he did yesterday. However, Bali left us hanging when he said some recalled diplomats, someone was sneaking them names that they want to go in foreign service. He left the whole country in suspense. For me, Bali should have hammered the nail on its head and told the country to say, Mr. Zulu was employing his relatives and I fired him 2 days ago. But Bali chose to leave us in suspense. So we're in suspense. Bali left us in suspense. He left us in suspense. So I don't know whether in the future he will continue leaving us in suspense or he will come and hit the nail on its head. He left us in suspense, to be very honest.
Let's end from there. I know that there's no democracy in the studio and we have to end.
It's always a pleasure to be here. Hope to be here next year.
Thank you so much, and I'm glad hosting you for the last time, the year 2021. See you next year.
Thank you. I'm humbled. God bless you.
Thank you so much. All right, we end our discussion here. My guest has been Honorable Munir Zulu, coming from LUMEZI constituency. And of course, according to him, the next appearance on TV will be in 2022. My name is Innocent Piri. IP, allow me to appreciate my producer and you, the people of Zambia. Like I always say, may God bless Zambia, may God bless Mother Africa. Good night.
Good night.